like to introduce everyone to the Nord Archers. Look at these strapping lads. Over here, contestant number 1, slicking back the hair. And look at this. I love this sleeve. We got the tunic on, and we got that look in our eye saying, bring it on, bandits. Moving into that Freeman Archer. You got the haircut, the face paint, and the chin strap all coming together with a lot of attitude. I'm liking that. And then we've got the shoulders here, just a little leather something. Then we come down, and I guess this chest piece is some type of padded armor. And I'll tell you right now, I am in on these pants. Next, we've got the marksman, and we get the helmet. We get some mail armor up top. Still looks like we've got cloth pants and fur boots here. Then we move all the way up to Tier 5, Sky God's Chosen. Such a badass name. And look, they get the full mail, a much better helmet, and we've now added the shield, and it looks like an axe. You'll see they're much less heavily armored than their other faction counterparts, but that's the thing with the Nords. Do remember, coming in war sales are Mariner troops, which are troops that are specific for naval warfare. If you use regular troops in naval battles, they will suffer a debuff. But when it comes to the Nords, all of their troops have the Mariner trait, so they're as effective on land as they are on sea. So on land, these guys, I think, are pretty cool, versatile unit. They can skirmish, they can shield wall up, great for flanking, and that's all great. But at sea, I think these guys are going to be monsters because they're just going to spray the enemy deck with arrows while they're closing in, smash into a ship, and then board it, and they're going to be awesome melee troops, I bet. It'll be interesting to see what their one-handed is. I think most archers have around 130 one-handed skill. So what are these guys going to come at? 150, 160? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm putting a lot of money on the Aserai being amazing at naval warfare because I think javelins are going to be insane during naval fights. Be excited for these Nord archers. I know I am. I just can't wait to sell them at the tavern. Yeah. Enough about the Nords. Let's talk about something important, like the rise of the 1.3 Bobo Con. And look at my Bolden Horde going to work. So proud of these kids. I mean, we just been running and gunning, living that rogue life, hitting caravans, anything we could get our hands on, and just having a ball. But then, Von Chug reached out and offered me a spot on the roster and a great deal on his second daughter. And you really can't turn that down without offending the con, and that's usually not a great thing to do. So of course, I took the job, and early in this campaign, the Southern Empire hosted one of those 3-day wars that the AI does now, you know, where there's like a war and then someone takes a town and then there's peace. Their goal was to make the wars less likely to kick off, but last longer when they did and be more impactful. That has not been my experience, so that needs some tuning. And just in general, I'll say, I love the beta. I'm having a blast, but it needs some tuning. And in some places, even maybe a moderate amount of tuning. But overall, I think it's a wonderful step in the right direction. So they captured Odok, declared peace, and then there was an alliance, and then there was a trade agreement. And now all that patience is about to pay off. Ah, there we go. This feels appropriate. And BoboCon is just getting started. I took some notes while I was playing, and I'll just give you guys the highlights. Let's just address the elephant in the room. Loot is fucked. You know it, I know it, they know it, they'll fix it. I actually like that you can't get rich off of looters, but the loot scales horribly. I'm in here with 230, 240 roguery, and I'm getting like a spear and a hat for taking down a 100-man army. It's insane. They'll fix it, but until they do, smithing went supernova. Sure, they nerfed the Pugios, but the ability to print 110,000 dinars by clicking a button in this economy, and as a cherry on top, you get 2 free attribute points as you level up the tree. Should be a choice you have to make when you're choosing difficulty on whether you're going to have smithing or not, because smithing is easy mode. When it comes to bandits, I'm enjoying the new bandit colors. I'm enjoying the new types of bandits. I really like the mechanic where bandits seem to pop up in war zones or areas that are in conflict, villages getting burned and stuff. It should be a lawless wasteland. And I very much enjoy it. And I like that in peacetime, the bandits die down. In both cases, however, there are entirely too many. The bandit apocalypse has got to get turned down. Running around Calradia now, you feel like you broke your mod pack. I love everything about the bandits. There's just way too many, but they'll get that sorted out. Since we're talking about bandits, let's go ahead and talk hideouts. We all agree we need to add an assault option where you just get your troops and come in hot. We also then have to come up with a reason to make the stealth option worth it. What's going to be the payoff for that? Do I get more loot? Do I get more captives? There has to be a payoff for me taking the extra time to do the stealth. What's that going to be? And I think we're all very thankful for the third option, because sometimes you just don't want to clear another hideout, and being able to just sim them and knock them down makes the game a lot less tedious. Tournaments. There's a lot less of them. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I actually like it. That may be an unpopular opinion, but I felt the tournaments were a little spammy, and I think tournaments should be something special. I think they should turn tournaments into what feasts used to be in Warband. Make sure they only happen during peacetime. Someone hosts a tournament, all the lords of the land should show up, and everybody's eating and you're meeting people and raising your rep by having conversations, and then you get this awesome tournament rewards. I mean, I want tournaments to be an ordeal. They ought to be something special and awesome, and I think if you have a town and you host a tournament, you should get a ton of relationship. It should add a ton of prosperity to your town. And, you should have to do it like you had to do in the feast. You should have to get all the hogs and all the wine and beer and everything you need. And then you host that tournament. You get that massive payoff. I think less is more in some cases. And I think tournaments are one of those cases. The campaign AI. These are some of my favorite changes. Watching these massive armies collide is Bannerlord at its best. Even as a vassal, I have been involved in some massive battles. Won some, lost a few, and every time I had a ball. And the size and scale of Bannerlord, I mean, there's just nothing better than battles in Bannerlord. It's one of the greatest experiences in gaming. Everything is a lot better in this regard. Army sizes are better, they're better quality troops. AI army behavior still needs some tuning, because there's times it'll just run right past one of its cities under siege. So it still needs some calibration, but it's a great step in the right direction. Very happy with the way slings have been implemented. I saw some people were very disappointed, but to me, they're a low-level ranged weapon. I would like to see the jaw wall get some elite slingers, very lightly armored. I think it'd be a cool unit to add to their roster. I'll tell you, one of my favorite changes is these settlement projects. These are some huge improvements. My two favorite things are towns that aren't connected to grain villages now can get a lot more food. It seems like they can become a lot more prosperous than they used to be. Like, it really wasn't worth having a fief that wasn't connected to a grain village or at least some type of food source, because they would just be starving all the time. That has been much improved now, to where even these towns that aren't connected to food villages are getting a good amount of food, and you can get their prosperity up a fair amount. And I love the addition of the town patrol. And let's give a salute to those town patrols who, I mean, I think we all have to agree, in the current bandit apocalypse going on, probably the most dangerous job in Calradia right now. Salute to you, town patrols, out there getting it done in the worst of times. Speaking of the random events quickly, I love them. Sometimes they happen a little too often and they get a little too repetitive, but as you add more of these to the game and you spread them out a little bit, I think they are absolutely fantastic, and they are only going to get better. And it's really fun to get the ones that give you like 200 plus influence when you're on that merc contract, and now you got like 20 large a day coming to you. Those are just fun things that happen in your game, and it's very enjoyable. I think at the moment they happen just a little too much, and they're a little too repetitive, but they have great potential, and I'm glad they've been added to the game. And like I said, I'm very concerned about what the modders are going to put us through with these things. But back to the economy. The loot sucks, but the passive income from workshops and fiefs has been much improved, and you can support a pretty good-sized clan with just one fief. My greatest concern right now is sieges. I've had some crashes during sieges. I'm still having troops getting stuck on ladders or not using a siege tower, pushing the siege tower up to the wall and then not being able to use it. I see a lot of that behavior still. I think sieges need a lot of work before War Sales comes out, and I'm a little concerned about it, to be honest, because they've been a problem for a while. But I know they're bringing all this stuff in, so now that they've brought it in, they can start tuning it up, and that's the whole purpose of a beta. So I'm not in panic mode, but sieges need a lot of work, in my opinion, to include some work on siege AI, because it seems like now, if a enemy army lays siege to a settlement, they're pretty much going to be able to take it. I think we might need to reconsider militia. I mean, militia's a little too worthless. I think it might need to just get bumped up. I know we added this veterancy stat where, you know, some of the militia spawn in as better militia. We might just need to make the militia in general a lot better. I'm not saying a crazy buff, but maybe just a little bit something. They're just trash currently. If you don't like that idea, maybe we should just consider adding in the defender bonus to simulating, because I think they got rid of the defending bonus in Sims. So now it's really just more about the numbers and quality of troops, which is obviously going to favor the attackers now every time. I'm not a game developer. I don't know what we do, but I think sieges need a lot of work. So we'll see how that progresses. I am very happy with this patch and everything it's bringing into Bannerlord. And once they get all this tuned up and we throw in some Nords and naval combat, I think we're all going to be having a damn good time. Good luck and Godspeed to all my early game Bannerlords. Just trying to survive and thrive in this 1.3 bandit apocalypse. Have fun out there. Oklahoma out.